Congratulations, Mr. Pandey. The third company on the list of the elite value creators from the Fortune India Next 500 universe is Vaibhav Global. And representing Vaibhav Global here tonight is Mr. Rahimullah, Executive Director. Please, let's give a big round of applause to Mr. Rahimullah from Vaibhav Global. Can we please hear it for Mr. Rahimullah and Vaibhav Global? The awards for the top 10 value creators are courtesy of partners Lamborghini and da Milano Italia. The next company I have the pleasure of calling on stage is JBM Auto, and representing them is Chairman Mr. S.K. Arya. JBM Auto, ladies and gentlemen. JBM Auto is ranked 4th on our elite list of value creating companies. Many congratulations to Mr. Arya and JBM Auto. The fifth company on this illustrious list is Avanti Feeds. May I please have Mr. Alluri Indrakumar, Chairman and Managing Director of Avanti Feeds, come up on stage and collect the award on behalf of Avanti Feeds. Could we please hear it for Avanti Feeds? Congratulations, Mr. Indra Kumar. Clearly 2 minutes for each award is hardly enough time. The next company I have to call on stage is Ajanta Pharma, and representing them, Mr. Purushottam Agarwal, Vice Chairman, Yogesh Agarwal, Managing Director, and Rajesh Agarwal, Joint Managing Director. Ajanta Pharma is number 6 on our illustrious list of value creating companies. We are grateful to our partners Lamborghini and da Milano Italia for presenting these awards to our top 10 value creating companies. The next company I have the pleasure of calling up on stage is Eveready Industries India, and representing them is Vinod Chopra, Vice President and Business Head, Eveready Industries India. May I please have Mr. Chopra on stage? Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Kolkata, Mr. Vinod Chopra, representing Eveready Industries India. Number 8 on our list is Astral Polytechnic, and representing Astral Polytechnic here tonight is Jagruti Engineer, Executive Director. May we please have Mr. Engineer on stage collecting the award from the Honorable Ministers, Mr. Mukherjee and Mr. Purakais. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please hear it for Astral Polytechnic? Congratulations, Ms. Engineer and Astral Polytechnic. The next very, very special company on this list, Excel Crop Care, and may I please call on stage Mr. Rishit Shroff, Executive Director, Excel Crop Care. Can we please give it up for Mr. Rishit Shroff and Excel Crop Care? Excel crop care, ladies and gentlemen. And And finally, to wrap up that list, we have Hitachi Home and Life Solutions India, represented by Mr. Gurmeet Singh, Executive Director. Do we have Mr. Gurmeet Singh with us from Hitachi Life Solutions India? Doesn't look like Mr. Gurmeet Singh is with us, in which case we shall courier. Yes, as Minister Goyal says, he's busy adding value to his company. Thank you so much, sir. May we please now request, Vidhi, could we please have the felicitation ceremony for Sri Goyal and Sri Rama Rao. Mr. Mukherjee, Mr. Purakash, if you could please hand out the bouquets. I think we could do better with the clapping. Yeah? Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. This was extraordinary. Mr. Goyal has a flight to catch, but it was so gracious of him to have given us so much time. It means a lot for us. It means a lot for the companies on our list. We have Sri K.T. Rama Rao with us, and it's my great pleasure now to call Sri K.T. Rama Rao on stage to talk about what the state of Telangana is doing to promote its business-friendly image. May we please hear it for Sri K.T. Rama Rao.
Good evening. To Honorable Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, to Mr. Mukherjee, who has invited us here, to all the dignitaries, to all the Fortune 500, next 500 companies that are present here. A wonderful evening for you, to you, all of you, from the state of Telangana. We are the youngest state in India today. We are the 29th state in India. We call it a startup state. That's because we are bubbling with energy, and we have the passion, we have the aggression to actually make our presence felt in the state. In fact, the reason why, in the country, the reason why we've chosen to align with Fortune Next 500, this list of elite companies, is because we believe, like us, you're also in your growth trajectory, and I believe very strongly that you will be the next 500, and definitely we want you to also consider Telangana for your further investments. That's the reason why I'm here. Just this morning, before I came here, we had launched a program with Facebook, which has its Indian headquarters in Hyderabad. We launched a joint initiative, the government of Telangana and also Facebook, to promote SMEs in Telangana. As a part of this unique program, Facebook will impart the necessary training and handholding required for SMEs to succeed online, to expand their business, to deepen their relationship with their existing customers. In fact, this is one of the several initiatives the government of Telangana has come up in the last 1 year to ensure businesses of all sizes, primarily the small and medium enterprises. Because our Chief Minister is of the firm belief that the next wave of growth will definitely come from the small and medium sector, the next mid-caps, as Mr. Goyal kept referring to. I'm happy to note that there are a good number of companies from Hyderabad in the next 500 list, but we're not content with this. As you all know, Hyderabad has been home for a lot of entrepreneurship in the last several decades, and we're very, very keen to add several more enterprises from our state of Telangana. I think it was Jaideep Mishra who had mentioned that how regions and whole societies become enterprising and entrepreneurial across time and space is well worth study and follow through. But in the Indian context, the experience of last several decades is that a new state also can give rise and actually boost entrepreneurship amongst its citizens. With the formation of Telangana state, substantial investments are being made in the key sectors, in the basic sectors such as power, irrigation, drinking water, and also service sectors. Telangana, when it was born about a year ago, was a power deficit state. But today, I'm happy to report that we are a self-sufficient state when it comes to power, and about 2,500 megawatts of power is being generated through renewable energy, that is primarily solar. And we have in fact probably discovered the country's second lowest unit cost, which is 5 rupees 17 paise right now. We believe that mid-sized companies, like I had mentioned, are the key to the next wave of growth. And therefore, in the initial stages, as Mr. Goyal had mentioned, when you go through these tribulations, when you go through these initial teething pains, I think that's when the states need to come forward, the governments need to come forward, extend a helping hand, ensure that you actually fulfill the potential that you've started out with. Small and medium enterprises, as we all know, play a vital role for the growth of Indian economy by contributing 45% of the industrial output, 40% exports, 42 million in employment, and create more than 1 million jobs a year. Government of Telangana is aware of the various issues that are of concern to the small and medium enterprises, and we are taking several proactive measures to resolve them. Our government believes that we can solve many of our business problems by innovative usage of technology. Telangana government has recently partnered with reputed online retailer Amazon to enable the rural artisans by federating them into groups to sell their products online across the world. This will open a world of possibilities and world of opportunities to these rural artisans who are struggling to make ends meet. We're also building a small and medium tower for the small and medium sector in the popular Gachibowli high-tech city area so that small and medium businesses can now have an address in a coveted location. We're also working with financial institutions like Citibank to ensure that special financial instruments are created, special financial products are created for SME sector to boost and to encourage the startup culture, entrepreneurship. As the Honorable Prime Minister on 15th of August was talking about and referring to Startup India and Stand Up India, to create an environment that nurtures partnership, research and development, we have started out by building the country's largest technology incubator, which will ensure that Hyderabad will cement its position as country's preferred IT destination. We also have several initiatives such as skill development. We also have a wonderful city in the form of Hyderabad and a very promising new state whose slogan as far as entrepreneurship goes is innovate, incubate and incorporate. We are a state which has come out with the best industrial policy in the country today. Our industrial policy, only 3 salient features I'd like to mention here. One, we promise for all mega projects. A mega project is anything with investment of over $30 million. We promise all clearances through a single window in less than 15 days. But I know the popular joke about Indian governments and the state governments within India is that every government talks about a single window policy, but always there are hidden windows and multiple windows behind the single window. In our case, we are slightly different. We have tried to raise the mark, to raise the bar in Telangana. What we've started out doing is, if the promised, the stipulated 15-day period is not adhered to, on the 16th day of your application is deemed to have been approved if the state does not respond with a yes or a no. We also have what is called, in the lines of a right to information, in the lines of right to education, we have what is called a right to single window clearance, by way of which, if your permission is not approved in 15 days, on the 16th day, you also have the ability to actually sue us. We are liable for penal action by statute. This is a piece of legislation that we've enacted. And also, we have another very, very interesting feature in our, as part of our industrial policy, which is in that we have a cell, investment promotion cell, attached directly to the Chief Minister's office, which will receive you right at the airport, will bring you right to the Chief Minister's office, enable an interaction with the Chief Minister himself and the Industries Minister, try and understand the intent of the business, the investment potential, the employment potential, etc. And once we assess that, we'll ask you to submit one single application and we'll ask you to go back. In less than 15 days, we'll call you back with a docket of all clearances. Whether you're a green industry or a red industry, we'll call you back in 15 days with all clearances. This is not a policy which is on a piece of paper. This is a policy which is already in motion. This is a policy which is already in functioning. In fact, we've given more than 50 organizations so far, including Amazon, Google, and Uber, which have decided to set up their largest campuses outside of the United States in Hyderabad. We've given them all clearances in less than 10 days. So this goes to show you the promise of a new state, the startup state as I keep calling it. Once again, We'd like to partner with the Fortune Next 500 to have a synergistic growth opportunity with the state of Telangana. When you're deciding, when you're considering your next investment, we'd like to request you to consider this new state of Telangana, which offers promise, which offers hope, which is bubbling with enthusiasm. Thank you once again to Fortune for making us this a state partner as part of your exercise, and I wish you all the very best. Cheers.
Thank you, sir, for that energetic address. It is now time for us to move into the next segment of this evening's program, which are the 3 interactive workshops that we have lined up for you. We are running a little short of time, so I'm going to try and now rush through my introduction, so my apologies in advance to all our speakers. But it is a matter of tremendous pride for us to have amongst us 3 speakers today who are, like I said, the absolute best in their business. First up, to talk about technology and in particular cloud computing, which has emerged as one of the biggest enablers of businesses around the world, I have the distinct privilege of calling on stage Mr. Bikram S. Bedi, Head of India for Amazon Web Services India, which is a pioneering company in the field of cloud computing. Mr. Bedi, over the next 15 minutes or so, will take you through the magic of cloud computing and how that can really give a quantum boost to your business. May I now please invite Mr. Bedi on stage. Thank you. May we please welcome Mr. Bedi on stage with a round of applause. Thank you.
Can you hear me back there now? Yeah? Great. Thank you. Thank you, Fortune India, for giving us the opportunity to address such a prestigious audience. I'm going to be talking today about disruption, right? If you look at disruption, it's been on for a while now. Whether you look at the rail industry getting disrupted by air transport, whether you look at emails and postal mail, emails disrupting postal mail, whether you look at telephones disrupting, being disrupted by wireless or mobile phones. Disruption has been on for a while. The thing about this disruption is that this has typically taken decades, or even centuries to happen. However, over the last couple of years, digitization has increased the pace of this disruption. So if you look at Netflix, for example, that's a great example there. How many of you have heard of Netflix, have used Netflix in the room? Great, a lot of you have. On any weekend, about 33% of the internet traffic in the United States is Netflix. That's the kind of disruption they've caused in the movie or the entertainment industry. On to the hospitality industry. How many of you have used Airbnb? Lots of you, great. On any given night, there's about 400,000 people who are staying in an Airbnb booked room. Multiply that by 365 days and multiply that by the average room rent, that some people might be paying for those rooms. That's billions of dollars of revenue which has been taken away from the hospitality industry. And when I say hospitality industry, I mean the large hotels, right? That's disruption. And you can go industry by industry, and you're going to find disruption happening. You could look at, mobile phones, telecommunication, Xiaomi. You could look at Amazon in the retail space, storage, Dropbox. You could go industry by industry, and you're going to find a disruptor who's either starting to disrupt or who's already disrupted an established industry. I mean, these are the names that I could fit on this chart, but frankly, you could just go on industry by industry. And the common thread here between all of these logos that you see on your charts up there, as well as other logos, is they've all adopted the cloud computing platform with Amazon Web Services. Just a little bit of an introduction there. While Amazon Web Services is a part of Amazon, it's a different business from the retail business that Amazon has, Amazon.com, Amazon.in. It's a different business. And what it does is it provides cloud computing to companies out there in all segments, startups, enterprises, SMBs, media, all different kinds of companies. Let's quickly understand what is cloud computing. And I'm going to compare this to something, a phenomena which started, over a century ago, which is electricity. When you look at the old world, you had generators, right? And you manufactured your own electricity, and then you used it. So each factory, each industry, they have their own generators, and they manufacture their own electricity. And then the electrical grid came. So what you started doing was you started tapping into the grid, and you started